Hi, welcome back to True Wellness. Thanks for checking out our video vlogs. Today we're going to talk about a couple of simple things that you can do at home to continue to maintain your health in a natural and biological way. One of the first things I want to talk about is the two most toxic rooms in the home, the bathroom and the kitchen. Uh, Towards the end of the summer, as we go into the fall, it might be a good time to sit down and take one of those rooms over a day on the weekend and just go through everything that's under the sink and see, hey, how many chemical products are we really using here in the home to do all kinds of things, everything from cleaning to making sure that the drain stays open to washing the dishes. You can use our website, biologicalhealth.com. You can get a lot of information there in regards to more natural products and things that you can utilize instead of just using chemical products. And that'll make a big difference in your home. It'll make a big difference in your health. It'll make a big difference in the therapies that you go through here at True Wellness, because those chemicals absolutely end up in our system and cause health concerns. So the bathroom, same kind of thing. That's even usually more personal for folks in regards to what they're putting on their skin and in their hair. If you're like me, you don't worry about the hair too much, but the skin is still an issue. And so you want to make sure that you're not using chemical products and that you're really starting to step over into a more natural product use. And that eliminates a lot of stress on the system. And so therefore, if we can take that stress off the system, it's one less burden that you're up against on a daily basis. And so going through the home and really checking those things out and feeling like you have some references and some resources for good products will make it pretty simple. And it ends up being a lot of fun going out and really just looking for good, organic, natural products and seeing whether they really work for you or not. And a lot of folks feel like, oh, organic products don't work. Oftentimes, it really just takes a little bit of time, and you realize that it really does work, and my system just needs to get used to it. And I was used to the idea of everything had to smell real flowery or whatever. So that's a good and simple thing that you can do for your health and for your family's health. The other is, and this is going to sound funny as well, and I know hopefully a lot of you do this already, but I know a lot of folks don't, especially here in the West. It's a good habit to get into to take your shoes off when you enter your home. And I know that sounds simple, and I'm sure a lot of you do that, and most of us do it to keep the house clean, right? We're not tracking dirt and grass and mud and stones through the house. But the other thing is that you're also not tracking chemicals into the house. And a lot of our neighbors and out in the public utilize a variety of chemicals to handle everything from insects to weeds, and our shoes get exposed to that. And so we're walking around, we're going into different stores, we're going into different homes maybe, depending on what we're doing, or we're visiting people, we're on other people's lawns, we're in the public, and then we go home, and everything on the bottom of our shoes we're going to track through our house. And then once that stuff's, for instance, in our carpets, let's say we were walking around and we've got some different chemicals on the bottom of our shoes, like Roundup, for instance, for weeds, or different insect killers. And we go home and we walk around, and then the kids get down and start to play. And then we wonder why they have a rash on their arm or on their knee. And we can't figure out, what's going on. So by just simply taking our shoes off and making sure that we don't track anything through the house can be a real health benefit for us. The other thing is that we spend an awful lot of time inside, whether it's in our homes or our offices, and we have lost a lot of sun exposure. Now, I know that there's been, a lot of media exposure to the idea that sun and sun exposure is bad for people. And I agree to some extent. I agree that laying down on the beach at noon and not getting up until 3 and baking like a sausage on the beach is not a healthy thing for us to do at all. Having our skin burnt with UV rays, whether it's the sun or whether it's tanning beds, is absolutely not healthy and causes a great stress on the body. However, having sun exposure is very healthy for us. And I know a lot of folks go to great lengths to really avoid the sun all the time, whether it's with sunscreens or even sunglasses. And our eyes take in a lot of information through light. And so having sun exposure is actually a very positive thing for your health. When is it appropriate? Well, Early morning sun exposure is very good for us. Late afternoon and evening sun exposure is very good for us. And it doesn't mean that you're going to go out and lay down and just lay there and let the sun beat on you. But actually just being out for a certain period of time, maybe taking a 20-minute walk before we get in the vehicle to go to work, and having some true sun exposure in the early morning is very positive for us. One of the most beneficial things I feel for a family, and one of the fun things that you can do as a family, is gather everyone together right around the time that the sun is going down. And I know that we're doing this right now with our son. And we all get together and we say, oh, the sun's going down. And we watch the sun go down. And it's one of the only times, really, that you can look at the sun. So the sun is going down on the horizon, and the sky lights up with all those different colors, and the sun gets really big, and then it fades, and we're literally watching that sun take us from the day into the night. And it's a nice transitional time, and it's a nice 5 minutes with the family where we're all together, and we're just watching the sun go down. And you'd be surprised how nice that makes everybody feel. So there's appropriate times to have sun exposure, and it's actually very healthy for us. I know a lot of folks have been concerned about the vitamin D controversy, and that people tend to show up with low vitamin D all the time on blood tests. Well, I'm not going to necessarily get into the science behind all of that, but I will say this. If you're getting decent oil into your body, if you're taking in good vegetable oils, and good, for instance, flaxseed oils, and you're getting some sun exposure in the early morning or the late afternoon and evening, your body will naturally create vitamin D3. That's how it's done. So avoiding the sun as much as we have may have an impact on the fact that so many people are showing up with all this extremely low vitamin D in their system. I think there's other reasons as well, but that could be one of them. So there are some simple things. Go through your home a little bit, look at the 2 toxic rooms in your house, the bathroom and the kitchen, and see what we can start to get rid of and transform into using more natural products. The second is, hey, take your shoes off when you come into the house. Kids and adults as well. We're not tracking anything through the house. We're going to keep the house cleaner, yes, and we're also going to avoid that chemical exposure again. Third, we spend an awful lot of time under artificial light. Make sure that you get some good sun exposure that's appropriate. When is that? Early morning, late afternoon, and don't forget to watch the sun go down with the family. I hope that you've enjoyed some time with us here at True Wellness and this vlog, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thanks so much, and stay well.